All right, I want you to be seated because this is a seated meditation. What that means is that we're not moving around. We're going to go inside. We're going to dip in. Being overwhelmed is normal and natural for being human. And all it means is that we've got a ball of yarn with feelings and thoughts and possibly memories, right? Something happens to us, and all of a sudden it starts to get tangled. And so, what we're going to do with this meditation is we're going to go inside and we're going to untangle it. So, the first part is that we're going to center ourselves. We're going to get nice and clean and nice and quiet. Okay? Because it's from a place of calm. It's from a place of calm that we can make better decisions. It's from a place of quiet that we get creative. So meditation isn't just about feeling peaceful. It actually makes us more productive. It makes us find the answers that we're looking for and that we can't find when we're feeling overwhelmed. Okay, so let's go ahead and start. I'm going to do it with you. All right, so go ahead and get comfortable. You don't have to be in the lotus position. So let's both close our eyes. When we're doing a seated meditation, it's helpful to close our eyes so that we're not distracted. But even if we are, we notice it mindfully. And all mindfulness means is that we're noticing, we're observing. Now find your breath. The breath is a good place to come into the center. And in dynamic meditation, you've heard me say, get into your center lane. Right? We picture ourselves being on a multi-lane highway, and there's thoughts whizzing by, feelings, mental chatter. And we find our breath, and we get into the center lane. And even if you hear noises, even if you have thoughts, even if you have feelings, let them pass by you and come back to your breath. Your breath is a great place to notice what's happening inside of you. If it's fast and shallow, right? This is what the Buddhists showed us. There's something going on. We're agitated. So go ahead and tell your breath what to do. Tell it to be deeper. And by slowing down our breath, we actually begin to calm the body. It's an automatic response. And I want you to notice that it's you who's calming the body. So again, breathe deeply. And again. Continue to do that as I speak. Remember, calming the body is essential. In any situation, if you feel agitated, if you're overwhelmed, if it's too much, start taking deep breaths. The body must calm down. The central nervous system responds to deep breaths. Now I want you to go inside. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to say yes to those feelings of overwhelm, and we're going to remind ourselves that every feeling wants to leave. We're going to remind ourselves that every feeling is an energy. Remember this. It's all that it is, an energy. So when you're overwhelmed, you're just full of energies. That's all that it is. So you're going to open right up and you're going to imagine that you're opening up your insides. You're opening a window or a door. You're just going to say yes to every feeling that's in there. Don't get attached. Don't hook into them. You're just going to open up and just say, okay, you're ready to leave. Here it goes. Now, I like to yes hail. I like that every breath out is the energy leaving my body. And yes. And yes. Remember, it's like a box of Kleenex. You're pulling each feeling out. You're accepting them. And you're saying, I allow you to leave. I allow this energy to leave my body. And yes, hail. Now, hopefully at this point, you're a little quieter, a little cleaner, a little softer. If you're not, you can go ahead and pause the video and keep taking deep breaths and saying yes, hail. Remember the power of yes. Every time we say no, we cork up our feelings and they stay inside, creating havoc. So go ahead and say yes to let them go. Now I'd like you to pull up anything that you're feeling overwhelmed by. I want you to have the thought, whether it might be your bills or a project or exams or a deadline or a relationship. It doesn't matter. You know what it is. It might be 3 of those or 4 of those. Pick one. When we're overwhelmed, we're surviving. So we're going to attach a survival program to each, and we're going to let it go. So the one thing that you're thinking, what's it about? Is it about wanting safety, wanting control, or wanting approval? Now remind yourself that any form of wanting is really a feeling of lacking. It's a lacking energy. So right now, are you feeling that you lack safety? That you lack control? Or that you lack approval? Just name it. And just for right now, can you let go of that lacking energy, lacking safety, lacking control, or lacking approval? And we're training our mind, so we say, yes. Yes, I can let this survival program go. Now you can pull up the same thing, or you can pull up your next thing. Either way is fine. And what's this about? Is this about wanting safety, wanting control, or wanting approval? Can you let that go? Remember, you're letting go of the energy of lack. You're scrambling. You're feeling like you don't have safety, like you don't have control, like you don't have approval. I want to remind you, you felt this for years. It's time to let this survival program go. Let it go. And we have a great incentive. Can you let go of wanting so that you can move into having? Remember, they're two different energies. Wanting and having are two different energies. We want to feel like we have safety, have control, and have approval. If you were feeling that right now, you wouldn't be overwhelmed. Now go ahead and pull up the next thing or the same thing. You can do any type of work that you want right now. The process is the same. Stay with me. Is this about wanting safety, wanting control, and wanting approval? And remember, even if you're using the same theme, the same topic, as we clean up, it might show up with different survival programs than that which you started with. Can you let go of wanting safety, wanting control, and wanting approval? The answer is yes. You're training your mind, yes. You're training your mind that you let go of this anxious, overwhelmed feeling. Now notice where it is in your chest or in your stomach. And from that very place, you say yes to it and you let it up and out, that lacking energy, and some more. And even more. Now, hopefully right now, let's check in because we always want results. We always measure in dynamic meditation. We don't do this for free. We do this because it changes our life. And we measure how it does. So check in. Hopefully you're feeling lighter, quieter, gentler, softer. Even if it's just a little bit, we need to notice even the little shifts. Now, if you're still feeling very overwhelmed, I want you to pause this and I want you to rewind and do this over and over. Even if you don't feel calmer right now, know, and know that every time you do this, something gets cleaned up. 20 minutes from now, or right now. Keep an eye out for your gains. Keep an eye out for where things got easier, because that's one of our measuring tools. Life begins to move with ease. So I'm going to come back. I'm going to open my eyes. You can if you'd like, or you can continue. I want you to know that you know that you know that every time you sit down to practice, every time, even when you feel like you don't have time, like when you feel overwhelmed, even when you feel like you don't have time, by doing this for 10 minutes, things will shift. Things will shift. And notice, keep a lookout for the shifts. Okay? 10 minutes is nothing, especially when you feel the most overwhelmed. Do this in the morning, do this in the evening, do this in the middle of the day. It takes no time. And the time that you invest doing this will give you so much more time for the rest of the day, for tomorrow, for the week. Okay?